All right, great Patriots. Thank you so much for joining us here at Golden State Times. Kayleigh McEnany is set to deliver a press conference or a press briefing in just a few moments. And also, the Attorney General is doing a press conference this very second at the exact same time as Kayleigh McEnany. So we're going to have to upload the Attorney General's press briefing regarding Operation Legend at a later time, since they love doing everything at the exact same time. Someone on Twitter said, "Oh, but that's just being efficient." No, that's not being efficient. That is playing into the hands of the mainstream media, where they can cut and slice whatever the Attorney General said and post it where, on social media, on TV, or wherever, because Patriots are, they're going to go watch the White House press briefing with Kayleigh McEnany. And since you can't play two things at the exact same time, then that plays directly into the hands of the mainstream media. So they can distort, they can make their own narrative out of what the Attorney General said. That's not the way that things are supposed to be done. They could easily schedule things 1 hour, in between each other. Simple. I don't understand it. But we're going to upload. We're already, recording it. We have someone recording it already. And we're going to be uploading it at a later time. The Attorney General talking about Operation Legend. With Legend's mother and father is also at that press briefing. And they're, doing a Q&A and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. That's coming later on today. But yeah, so the Attorney General is also doing a press conference at the exact same time as Kayleigh McEnany is set to come out and do a press conference. So stay tuned for that. But we're going to be switching over to the White House. We want to give a big thank you to all the Patriots that have been sharing the live stream, that are here now. If you got notified by YouTube, let me know in the chat. We always like to know who is getting notified and who is not and stuff like that. So thank you so much once again. We'll be switching over to the White House in just a few moments. Thank you so much for being the best part of Golden State Times. If you'd like to help out Golden State Times, then make sure you share the live stream on social media. And don't forget to click the thumbs up button. By the way, the Attorney General press briefing is not being streamed by the mainstream media. It is not being shown by the mainstream media, because what they're going to do is they're going to splice, they're going to cut, and they're going to just put whatever their narrative they want to project. And I'm talking about all of the mainstream media. That is what they're going to do with this press briefing of the Attorney General. That's why I'm saying they could have easily done it at 6 a.m., which is 9 a.m. in the East Coast. They could have easily done it at 7 a.m. They could have easily done it at 8 a.m. But no, they wanted to do it the exact same time as the White House press briefing. And that really bothers me, because that way it plays into the hands of the mainstream media. Now the mainstream media can do whatever they want with that footage of the Attorney General. But not with us, folks. We'll upload the whole thing, the whole press briefing, at a later time. All right, folks. So once again, thank you so much for joining us here at Golden State Times. We're going to be giving shout outs to everyone that is sharing the live stream on social media. don't forget, we do have the footage from the Attorney General's press briefing, and we're going to be uploading it at a later time as we're getting ready for Kayleigh McEnany and her press briefing. President Trump is also having a news conference later on today, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, live here at Golden State Times. So make sure you guys join us for that. President Trump is having a news conference later on today. So let's give some shout outs before we switch over to the White House and get ready for Kayleigh McEnany. We have Michelle Battistone. Thank you so much for sharing the stream. Lights on, suns up. Thank you so much for sharing the stream. Someone said, time for a second channel. We do have a second channel. We really do. But if we stream it on the second channel, 20 people show up. We've done it before. We've done it multiple times before where we're streaming on this channel and then we upload it. We also stream on our second channel, another live stream, and only like 10 people showed up. So, we did that a few times. Maybe we'll try it again, but it won't get the outreach that it should get, even though, we would have been the only ones that were streaming those events. So who knows? We'll see what we can do. But thank you so much to Purple Dog 2 for sharing the stream. If you do want to sign up to, subscribe to our second channel, it's Golden State Times Newsroom. Here on YouTube, Golden State Times Newsroom. That is the name of the second channel. But we want to give some shout outs here to everyone that is helping us out through through sharing the live stream. So just give me 1 second here. We want to give a big thank you here to It's Trump Time for sharing the stream. And also Bruce. Thanks so much, Bruce, for sharing the stream. We want to give a big thank you. Kayleigh McEnany should be coming out very soon. Thank you so much for choosing Golden State Times as your news source. We'll be switching over to the White House in just a few moments. All right, so let's give some shout outs as we get ready. Deb926, thank you so much for sharing the stream. Let's see here. We want to give a big thank you to Tobias for sharing the stream. Thank you so much for your help and your support, Great Patriot. We also have Dorcine Puckett. Thank you so much for sharing the stream on social media. We want to give a big thank you to Rita Pilgrim for sharing the stream. We also want to give a big thank you to Chester Copperpot. Thank you so much for sharing the stream. Dennis Stoltz, thank you so much for sharing the stream. Notorious Nipple, thank you so much for sharing the stream. We also have LJ Fakwa. I hope I said that right. Thank you so much for sharing the stream. We also have Tim. Thanks so much, Tim, for sharing the stream. We have Hugh. Hugh is sharing the stream. John Porras. Thank you so much for sharing the stream. We'd like to give a big thank you to Diane for sharing the stream, and also Bobby. Thanks so much, Bobby, for sharing the stream. Dio Toner. Thanks so much for your continued support in sharing the stream. We also have Dr. Pam Hansel. Thank you so much, Dr. Pam, for sharing the stream. We would like to give a big thank you here to, give me 1 second. We have Armando sharing the stream. Thank you so much for your support. Catherine Denise Judson, thank you so much for your support. Michael, thank you so much for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to Shelly and to Gary Somebody. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. And we'd like to give a big thank you to Ruben. Thanks so much, Ruben, for sharing the stream. We'd like to give a big thank you here to JFK Jr. 2024 for sharing the live stream. We'd like to give a big thank you to Dog. Thanks so much, Dog, for sharing the stream. All right, folks, let me check to make sure that if we have the footage and the hot mic ready to go. And I'll be back on the microphone to give more shout outs to everyone that is sharing the stream.
week.
All right, folks, so we just got word that we're switching over in just a few moments and we're turning on the hot mic and all that good stuff. So make sure you guys please share the live stream on social media. Now, we want to give some shout outs before we switch over to the White House and turn on the hot mic. So we want to give a big thank you to Mildred Van Hoos. Thank you so much for sharing the stream. Juan Benedito, thank you so much for sharing the stream. Real Trump Wall 2020, thank you so much for sharing the stream. President Trump yesterday, he visited the wall. He got a briefing regarding the wall and pretty much is going to be built by December. And that is what the Army Corps of Engineers said. President Trump also announced that they are going to be almost finished, pretty much finished by December, the wall. And President Trump says if there's any other parts that we changed our mind and we're also going to build, then they're going to do it at the beginning of 2021. So, but what that means is that there's some areas, maybe there's some areas where it's completely inhabitable. There's literally nothing there. Or there's really bad terrain. Now, if they believe that those areas also need protection from the wall, then they're going to build it. But when it comes to high traffic areas where they know that traffickers have been passing by or that illegals have been using, like in the desert or in other areas, then all those places are going to be completely sealed off. So by December, we should have the wall completed and finished. Now, someone yesterday from the fake news, most likely Fox, most likely CNN, one of those two, they asked the question, is Mexico going to pay for the wall? President Trump announced two things that I believe he should have done since the very beginning, but I don't know why he waited till now. But now he's thinking about it, which is good. One, toll booth. So if you go in and out of the country through the Mexican border, you will pay a toll. You come into the country, you will pay a toll. You leave the country, you will pay a toll. The other thing that he said was a tax on money going in to Mexico from the United States, which means that if a Mexican national works in the United States and wants to send money back to Mexico, that person will be taxed, heavily taxed. I hope it's 50% tax. That's what I hope. But President Trump hasn't really released any more information on that. But I think he should have been doing that since the very beginning. Why is the money that leaves the United States into Mexico by Mexican nationals working in the United States not taxed when it leaves the country? I never understood that. But President Trump is now looking at that. He's thinking about doing a tax. He still hasn't said what tax it is or how big it is, but he's saying I'm looking at a tax of money leaving the United States by Mexican nationals. And he's also thinking about putting toll booths at the border where people pay to come in and out. Now, what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the chat. President Trump says the toll booth is not going to be that expensive, maybe $2, $3 each. But we're talking about a border that, people cross by the millions. Millions cross that border every single month. So we're talking about an immense amount of revenue coming into the United States by people having to pay a toll when they come in. So let us know what you guys think about that. I think that's a very, very good idea. Now, let me check to make sure that if we have the footage yet, and we'll be switching over, we'll we'll turn on the hot mic, but make sure you guys please share the live stream on social media and don't forget to click the thumbs up button. If you guys share the live stream on Twitter, then we'll give you a shout out as a thank you for your help and your support. And also don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Gold State Times. Give me a second, folks. Give me a second here. What is going on? Give me a second here, folks. All right, so a lot of patriots are saying that it's a good idea. The toll booth is a good idea, and I think it's a very good idea too, because it will add up over time. Like I said, millions and millions and millions of people go in and out, pretty much some people daily, but other people, you know, on the weekends and stuff like that, they travel, and millions of people, so it will just, the revenue on that will be immense. It will pay the wall like who knows how many times over. Also, putting a tax on the money that leaves the United States that Mexican nationals send over back to their country, that the revenue of that will be immense. So, two very good ways of the way that Mexico is definitely going to pay for the wall. So, let's just see what happens with that. But we're waiting for the White House to give us the thumbs up so we can switch over to the White House. Thank you so much for being the best part of Golden State Times. And we're ready to go here for Kayleigh McEnany. So it'll just be a few more moments and we'll be switching over to the White House. Thank you so much for being the best part of Golden State Times. Please share the live stream on Facebook and Twitter and Gab and Reddit and all of those social media sites. If you share it on Twitter, we'll give you a shout out as a thank you for your help and your support. But also don't forget to share it on everywhere else. All right, folks, so we are switching over. So just give me a second here while I get everything ready to go. We are switching over to the White House right now. So just give me a second here as we get everything ready to go for Kayleigh McEnany. We have footage from the White House, and the fake news is already ready to go to spew their lies. The fake news fakers are already ready to go to spew their fake news. And here's one of them. Here we go. All right, so that is live footage from the White House. I'll be turning the hot mic in just a few moments. I gotta let this faker finish his fake news first. That way, Fox News doesn't think that we're using their content when this idiot is in the middle of the room. He thinks that he's the only one in the room, folks. All right, folks. So we'll be turning the hot mic in just a few moments. As soon as this bobblehead sits down. As soon as this bobblehead sits down, then we'll turn on the hot mic. That way we don't have to listen to him spewing his fake news. So just give us a minute. The hot mic should be coming in just a few moments. All right, folks. So before we switch over, we're going to be giving shout outs. Or I'm sorry, before we turn on the hot mic, we're going to be giving some shout outs here to everyone that is sharing the live stream on social media as a thank you for your help and your support. We need your help now more than ever before. We're trying to wait until this bobblehead sits down. That way we can turn on the hot mic so we don't have to listen to this guy talk about his fake news. But we're going to give shout outs to everyone that is sharing the stream. We want to give a big thank you to Silly Lunch Lady. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. Deplorable Trump Lover. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you here to Native Physics. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. And Bruce. Thanks so much, Bruce. We also want to give a big thank you to Marvin Brown for sharing the stream, and Trump's Microwave Soda. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to FX999999 for sharing the stream, and John David Carter. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to Z for sharing the stream, and D Scott. Thanks so much for following us on Twitter. We also like to give a big thank you to Audrey for sharing the stream, and Michelle Battistone. Thanks so much for your help and your support, Great Patriot. We also like to give a big thank you here to, give me one second, Voice of the Revolution. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to Timothy Decker for sharing the stream, and Sparky. Thanks so much, Sparky, for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to Jerry Agee. I hope I said that right. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to 0 O'Clock and Trixie. Thanks so much, Trixie, for sharing the stream. We also like to give a big thank you to Patriot Z and Cannabis Cuisine. Thanks so much for your help and your support. We also like to give a big thank you to David Ball for sharing the stream, and Diane Mahone. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. We'd like to give a big thank you to Candelula 2016 and Sparky 1833. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. We'd like to give a big thank you to Sergio for sharing the stream, and Expose Z-Wolf. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. We'd like to give a big thank you to Credulous Rube and also C. Beepa. I hope I said that right. Thank you so much for sharing the stream. Rita S., Julie Shake, and we have Mildred Van Hoos. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream on social media. We'll turn on the hot mic in just a few moments as soon as this bobblehead sits down.
Joe Biden at all during that speech, and she well could have. So we're not quite clear about what the reason for that omission was. This morning, the White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows taking aim at John Kerry.
All right, so I told everybody to hold off on the hot mic until this bobblehead is done, but nobody ever listens. So I think the hot mic is on. So just give it a minute.
The president with no campaign events today, though he's got a big one tomorrow. He's got a campaign event just outside of Joe Biden's hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania. We will hear from the president later on today. He's got one of his hallmark briefing question and answer sessions at 5:30, which in and of itself draws a sharp contrast with Joe Biden, Harris, who has not taken any questions since nominating Kamala Harris to be his running mate. Harris? Thanks, sir. Thank you. Thanks, sir. Can't breathe. Yeah, okay.
All right, so the hot mic is on. The hot mic is on. But let's see if we can raise it just a tad here. I don't want to raise it too high because then there's too much gain and, it sounds like a bunch of just background noise, like really loud background noise. But the hot mic is definitely on. Let me know if you guys can hear the hot mic, folks. I had the music on a little bit. I know that. But I wanted to see if maybe I can raise the volume a little bit. But it stays pretty much the same. So we're trying to figure out how we can raise the volume just a little bit more. But for some reason, it's staying the same. But if you guys can hear some stuff, let me know. As people are saying, it's a cold mic. They're just these people are just quiet. What do you want me to do? You want me to rattle up some people and call them fake news to their faces? Maybe they can talk. I don't know. But these people are completely quiet today. I don't know why they're so quiet. Maybe they're getting ready for Kayleigh or President Trump. I don't know. Do you guys think they're going to be vicious today, or do you think they're going to be a little bit more calm? The hot mic is on. It's 100% on. But these people are really, really quiet. Who knows? All right, folks. So I'd like to give some shout outs to Patriots who are sharing the live stream. These people are extra quiet. I don't know what's going on with them, but they're extra quiet today. The hot mic is on. There's really not much I can do after that, but the hot mic is 100% on. And these people are quiet. I don't understand it. Thank you so much, too. Give me a second here. We have Marty Moose. Thank you so much for your support sharing the stream. We also have Charles Parr sharing the stream. And we have the English Patriot Poet sharing the stream. We also have here, let's see. Who do we have here? We have Remco D. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. We also have Marquita Ellie and David Montgomery. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. We also have Carp DM XRP. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. We also have Larry sharing the stream and Cretiana. I hope I said that right. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. Ulysses Lopez 18. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. And we also have El Conquistador. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. And I think, let's see, let's refresh one more time. We also have Fuller Horton. Thanks so much for sharing the stream. And I think that's it for now. All right, folks. Once again, the hot mic is on, but nobody's talking. All right, folks, as you guys heard on the hot mic, 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning, folks. Make sure you guys go get your coffees, your teas, your whatever you want to drink, whatever you want to eat, your popcorn. This is going to get good. So stay tuned live here at Golden State Times. 2-minute warning, folks. 2-minute warning. Let me know in the chat who is ready for Kayleigh McEnany. She is on her way, but who is ready to go? Who is ready for Kayleigh? Let me know in the chat. Give a shout out to your city, to your state, or to the country where you're tuning in from. Make sure you sound off as Kayleigh McEnany is on her way. 2-minute warning, folks. And I want to give a big thank you to all Patriots who are helping us out through Super Chat. John Carter and also Stephen B. Good. Thanks so much for your help and your support through Super Chat. As you guys can see, there is no ads anywhere on this live stream. This live stream is 100% ad free, and we'd like to help out. We would like to give a big thank you to all the Patriots who help us out through Super Chat and also through membership. All of the Patriots with the Trump hats next to their name in the chat. Because of you, we're able to live stream this event to Patriots all over the country and all over the world. We want to give a big thank you to Claudia Dawkins for your help and your support through Emoji Super Chat. It is an awesome emoji Super Chat. Thanks so much for your help and your support. We also like to give a big thank you to Jose Luis Zavala. Thank you so much for your help and your support, great Patriot. Thank you so much for your help and your support through Super Chat, helping us live stream this event to Patriots all over the country and all over the world. So, like I said, folks, sound off in the chat. Who is ready for Kayleigh McEnany? Give a shout out to your city, to your state, or to the country where you're tuning in from.
Hello, everyone. Where is Nancy Pelosi? The House is in recess. House and Senate Democrats left town after failing to compromise and make a deal to provide relief to the American people. While Nancy Pelosi and her colleagues went home, this president remained hard at work. President Trump took executive action, including stopping evictions, providing unemployment insurance, pausing student loan payments, cutting the payroll tax, which put money in the pockets of all Americans. Democrats apparently were unable to stick around to make a deal. Now, suddenly, Democrats will be rushing back to Washington. But why? The answer? The United States Postal Service. It's a stunning turn of events. Democrats went home after accomplishing nothing. No deal on stimulus checks, no deal on small business relief, no deal on eviction protections. The concerns of everyday Americans were not the concerns of Democrats on Capitol Hill. So where is Nancy Pelosi? She and her Democrat colleagues will be back in Washington soon to pursue their latest manufactured crisis, the Postal Service. Democrats denied a $10 billion offer for the U.S. Postal Service by this president before they went on recess. But now they're back to pursue the latest Democrat-manufactured crisis. It's sad, but it's clear where Democrats' priorities stand. And with that, I'll take questions. John.
Kayleigh, looking ahead to potential action at the United Nations, will the president dispatch the Secretary of State to go to the UN to invoke the snapback clause on sanctions?
Yeah, so I have no announcements and I won't get ahead of the president, but what I will say is the president has said that he will be willing to invoke the snapback option soon, and I'll leave that to him. Yes.
Kayleigh, the president said this week the only way we lose this election is if the election is rigged. It begs the question, does the president believe there's any circumstance under which he could lose the election fairly?
The president believes he's done a great job for the American people, and he believes that will show in November. He believes that voter fraud is real, in line with what we see all across the country, particularly with mail-in ballots, which are prone to fraud. Yes.
Thanks very much, Kayleigh. Two questions for you. Firstly, given the president's tweet on Goodyear and lashing out at them, is the Beast still going to be using Goodyear tires?
I'm not going to comment on security matters.
Okay, and then I want to follow up with a question that I asked the president last week, but he didn't answer. I asked him about QAnon, so I wanted to know, have you ever heard the president talk about QAnon, and what does he think of the conspiracy theory?
No, I've never heard of that. There's a lot of media focus on that, but certainly never heard of that from the president. Yes.
Kayleigh, just to follow up on what my colleague said over there with regard to the president saying make sure to get out and vote because the only way we're going to lose this election is if the election is rigged. Is the president saying if he doesn't win this election that he will not accept the results unless he wins?
The president has always said he'll see what happens and make a determination in the aftermath. It's the same thing he said last November. He wants a free election, a fair election, and he wants confidence in the results of the election, particularly when you have states like Nevada doing mass mail-out voting to their voting rolls. And when they tried this in the primary, it was a massive failure. Ballots were piled up in trash cans. Ballots were pinned to apartment dartboards. And with that being the system, the president wants to take a hard look at this and make sure that these are fair election results and not subject to fraud.
So
yes.
Can you tell us if the White House has reached out to Pelosi or the Democrats to talk over the next couple of days about stimulus?
Yeah, so I have no updates on the personal conversations that we've been having, but what I'll say is this, is I know the speaker is interested in potentially a skinny bill with post office funding, but what we want here at the White House is we're certainly open to post office funding. We did, after all, offer that $10 billion that was turned down, so we're open to that, but what we want to see in there is relief for the American people who are hurt through no fault of their own. For unemployed Americans, we want to see enhanced unemployment insurance. PPP, we want to see small businesses get taken care of. That money goes directly to payroll, so to pay workers and thus keep jobs. And we're interested in seeing stimulus checks go out to the American people as well.
On the post office, are you able to share if the White House is open to the $25 billion that the Democrats are proposing, or is $10 billion the cap?
No, we don't have a cap. We're certainly open to looking at the $25 billion, but we want included in there relief for the American people that thus far Speaker Pelosi has been entirely uninterested in, as this president has taken unilateral action to protect Americans subject to eviction, to protect Americans who are unemployed, to protect Americans via a tax cut through payroll deferral. So this president's taken action. Still, we're waiting calling on reckless Speaker Pelosi to get back and do her job.
Just to follow up on that, and then I have another question. Are there other things that the president could do in the realm of the executive action to address this problem with the Postal Service to ensure that they've got sufficient funding? Is there anything that he could do to sort of fill the gap?
So the post office does have sufficient funding through 2021, and they do currently have cash on hand. They've been given that $10 billion line of credit through the CARES Act, so that's important to note. And look, we're looking at the post office funding to do with Speaker Pelosi, but that must also include money for our hardworking Americans as well. And the president, just to underscore this, mentioned yesterday that he wants to protect postal workers. These are great, hardworking Americans, and he wants to make the post office solvent and to protect those post office jobs. And he mentioned Amazon needing to raise the price of packages for Amazon as a way to help the solvency with the post office.
Just follow up. So, with the recent agreement between Israel and the United Arab Emirates, there is great interest on the part of the Emiratis to purchase F-35s. What is the president's position on selling those high-end aircraft to the Emiratis at this point? And would that require congressional changes to remove the qualitative military edge that is guaranteed to Israel at this moment?
So we don't confirm or comment on proposed defense sales or transfers until they are formally notified to Congress. To circle back on your first point, too, about post office funding, I did want to highlight a piece that was written by Ruth Goldway, who's a retired chairwoman and commissioner of the U.S. Postal Regulatory Commission. I believe it was in the New York Times. And she said, quote, that the post office has access to about $25 billion in cash. Its own forecasts predict that it will have enough money to operate into 2021. So this notion that there's this emergency for which Nancy Pelosi needs to rush back to Capitol Hill to solve is a farce. It is false. The real thing that's happening here is Nancy Pelosi is feeling pressure from her members, from her constituents, because she's not delivered relief for the American people, and President Trump has. Yes, Paula.
Thank you, Kayleigh. Today, the president encouraged Americans not to buy Goodyear tires, suggesting that they had a ban on MAGA hats, but it appears that their policy is just a ban on political speech. It's pretty common for most companies. So why is the president retaliating against a private company for their dress code and potentially jeopardizing American jobs?
So Goodyear needs to come out and clarify their policy. There was an image.
It's a statement.
They failed to clear. Yes, I did see their statements, which still failed to clarify their policy. What happened is there was an image that was put out that showed that certain speech was acceptable, Black Lives Matter insignia, for instance, but what was not allowed was Blue Lives Matter. What was not allowed was MAGA hats. What was clearly targeted was a certain ideology. They have not denied that that image was presented at one of their facilities, and they need to come out.
Racial equality, racial justice, that is okay, but not political speech. That's pretty standard across the board right now. That's not that unusual. Did the president even reach out to Goodyear before he tweeted?
They came out and said equity issues. As far as I'm concerned, Blue Lives Matter is an equity issue. There have been police officers across this country that have been targeted because they wear the badge. Look no further than Dallas, where 5 police officers died. So Black Lives Matter, an organization who's in their DC branch said Black Lives Matter means defund the police. One of their presidents in New York said we will burn down the system. We all remember in 2015 the yelling of pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon at a Black Lives Matter rally. That speech is allowed, but Blue Lives Matter is not allowed. And I will stand at this podium and say Blue Lives Matter is an equity issue, and Goodyear needs to come out and acknowledge that. Yes. Well, so let me just address that. The reason he called for the boycott was over MAGA. MAGA is pretty much unanimous with Blue Lives Matter these days, if you've seen the endorsements. Yes.
Hi, Kayleigh. Does the White House support rolling back those existing operational changes that Louis DeJoy has done at the Postal Service, like those mail sorting machines? He said he would pause the operational changes going forward, but do you guys support rolling back the ones that have already affected mail delivery?
So the president made his position clear on this yesterday, and it is making the post office solvent via Amazon, package rates being raised. It's important to note how this works. So for letters, magazines, catalogs, the post office can only raise prices by the rate of inflation, whereas with packages and commercial freight, like Amazon, they can raise those competitive prices. And the Postmaster General Louis DeJoy has proposed doing just that because we don't believe that Amazon should be able to push expensive packages to the post office and burden them further when they've already had issues with funding and push it there, but yet take advantage of the cheaper shipping. It's a business model that works for Amazon, but it's not one that works for the American people, and clearly not one that works for the post
What
office.
about the specific operational changes?
The president's made clear that Amazon, he thinks that's the best way to go, and I'll let him answer any further on that. Yes.
Thanks, Kayleigh. The president last night congratulated Laura Loomer for her primary win in Florida. He's also backed Marjorie Taylor Greene in Georgia. Both women have expressed anti-Muslim sentiments. Does the president endorse their views of Muslims, and does he believe that those views belong in Congress?
Well, the president routinely congratulates people who officially get the Republican nomination for Congress, so he does that as a matter of course. He hasn't done a deep dive into the statements by these two particular women. I don't know if he's even seen that, but he supports the Muslim community. He supports the community of faith more broadly in this country. Yes.
Thank you, Kayleigh. The president said that cost has been a consideration in selecting the White House as the location for his acceptance speech on next week. And I'm wondering if cost, in terms of keeping costs down for security purposes, is a consideration when he's selecting when to travel to his homes in Florida and New Jersey.
Look, the president made clear that he wants to look at cost with regard to the convention. He always tries to, but the president is entitled at times to leave the White House, and he's done that just like every past president has. Yes.
Thank you, Kayleigh. Can you confirm that the U.S.-China trade deal Phase 1 talks with Ambassador Lighthizer are still on track? And if so, do you have a date for those?
Yeah, so the trade representatives do speak, and the president has expressed his displeasure with China with regard to COVID and the pandemic. I don't have a date for any official talks, but it is safe to say, should they continue, it would be between the trade representatives. Yes. Yes.
Kayleigh, back to Goodyear for a second. Set the issue of the beast aside. When the president says don't buy Goodyear tires, get better tires for far less, is he imploring that to his supporters? Or is that the official policy of the U.S. federal government that the president is directing, saying, do not buy Goodyear tires going forward?
The president was talking to his supporters when he tweeted that in particular. And look, this president will never apologize for standing with law enforcement. He won't. He thinks it's unacceptable. If you can wear a Black Lives Matter hat, guess what? You should be able to wear a Blue Lives Matter one too, particularly when our police officers are targeted like they were in Dallas, particularly when David Dorn lost his life amid these riots. He will always stand against our police officers and Blue Lives Matter for some reason not being an equity issue, as Goodyear appears to maintain.
So for all the fleets out there that have Goodyear tires on them that inevitably need to be replaced, that is fine. Go ahead and purchase.
I haven't spoken to him about that in particular. You can ask him later in the 5 p.m. hour. Yes, Jeanette.
Thank you, Kayleigh. As the White House continues to spearhead its vision and its victories for Middle East peace, what commitments does the White House hope to establish with the visit of the Prime Minister from Iraq tomorrow?
Yeah, so that visit, we're very much looking forward to that tomorrow. The president looks forward to welcoming Prime Minister Kadami to the White House. The U.S.-Iraq strategic partnership is based upon a common goal for a stable, secure, and prosperous Middle East, and Iraq is a key partner to the U.S. on a range of regional security issues, including the enduring defeat of ISIS. So all of those matters will be discussed tomorrow. Yes, John.
The president has been very bullish on the potential of convalescent plasma. And it appeared as though the FDA was poised to issue an emergency use authorization for convalescent plasma. But a number of the president's top advisors in the medical field, including Drs. Collins and Fauci, said, let's put a hold on the EUA. It's too early. We don't yet know about the true efficacy of convalescent plasma. Does the president agree with putting off the emergency use authorization, or is he of a different mind of it?
Yeah, so I haven't spoken to the president about that particular EUA. You can ask him that later this afternoon. But I did follow up with the FDA on a testing issue, and I wanted to look into the average time for our point of care test, because you all ask often about our point of care, our more rapid test. And the average time for point of care test from submission to the FDA to decision for COVID-related rapid point of care test was 20 days. And by comparison, that for Ebola, flu, and strep point of care test was over 100 days. So this FDA under this president has managed to prove these rapid point of care tests that you all ask about at a rate 5 times faster than for Ebola, flu, and strep, which have taken more than 100 days on average. And just before I walked out here, Attorney General Barr announced some very good new news. Last week, of course, we learned that the suspected killer of Legend Taliaferro was charged, which was very encouraging to see. Operation Legend was, of course, named after Legend Taliaferro, the 4-year-old boy who was shot and killed in his bed. This has been going on for 6 weeks. There have been 1,000 federal agents from FBI, DEA, ATF, and U.S. Marshals working side by side with state and local authorities. Operation Legend is a very good example of cooperation in action, which is a sharp contrast to those who merely express empty sentiments or worse, hold blatant disregard for the unacceptable violence in our cities, of which many children have fallen victim to. The president cares. The president wants law and order restored. He wants peace in our streets. So this president took action. And today, the Attorney General can announce under the leadership of this president that federal agents have made over 1,000 arrests as part of Operation Legend. Many of these arrests are for violent state crimes, including 90 homicides. And as AG Barr notes, that means 90 killers would still be on the streets today without the law and order actions of President Trump. And as the mother of Legend Taliaferro said, she said, quote, "My one and only child who fought through open heart surgery at 4 months is gone due to senseless gun violence. Children are supposed to be our future, and our 4-year-old son did not even make it to kindergarten. I stand here today as a mother fighting against violence for my son, Legend Taliaferro. My family and I support Operation Legend, and we strongly want our communities and everyone else behind us." Today, Legend Taliaferro was once again honored by the actions of Operation Legend, and we can thank President Trump and the work of Attorney General Barr for that great news. Thank you all very much. The president will be back here in the 5 p.m. hour.
Will the president do something about bounties on American soldiers?
All right, folks, as you guys heard, President Trump is having a press conference later on today. It should be coming up on your screen in just a few moments. Make sure you click on the live stream, you give it a thumbs up, and you set the reminder. Thanks so much for being the best part of Golden State Times and choosing us as your news source. If you're new to the channel, we encourage you to subscribe and click that notification bell. Also, don't forget to click the thumbs up button and say hello in the comment section below. It helps out the channel immensely. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Gold State Times. If you want to get notified for President Trump's news conference coming later on today, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, then go to our website, goldenstatetimes.com, and sign up to our email list so we can send you a notification when we go live. I apologize. The president's news conference is ready to go on our main channel, Golden State Times. So make sure you head over to the live stream, you give it a thumbs up, and you set the reminder. Let me show you guys real quick how you can find it. So if you go to our main channel, Golden State Times, let me just go back real quick. 1 second. Here we go. All right. So if you go to our main channel, Golden State Times, you scroll down just a tad, and then you click on the news conference. As you guys can see it here, it's ready to go. Starts in 3 hours. Set the reminder, folks. Click where it says set reminder right there. Where it says set reminder, click on it, and now you will be notified. Even if you're subscribed, even if the bell is on, click that reminder. It's an extra thing so you guys can get notified 100% of the time when we go live. So make sure you guys do that and say hello in the comment section of the chat. We hope to see you guys there. Don't forget, click the thumbs up button for this video and share it on social media. Thanks so much, folks, and we'll see you very soon. All right, folks, so that was for the video upload. In case you guys missed the press secretary's Q&A with the fake news media. If you guys missed it, came in halfway towards the end, we are uploading it onto the channel right now So just give me a second here as we get everything ready to go. Once again, if you're new to the channel, we encourage you to join us and subscribe to the channel. Click that bell as we cover everything that has to do with the president. We do not just focus on rallies like the one-trick pony. The one-trick pony only focuses on rallies. We do not. We focus on the president. Wherever the president goes, wherever the president delivers a speech, a press conference, a news conference, or whatever you want to call it, if the president is speaking to the media, we are there to cover it. We don't discriminate. Every single thing. We cover the president completely and fairly. Rallies are cool, but rallies are not the only thing that President Trump does. So we cover him 100%. So if you're new to the channel, we encourage you to subscribe and click that bell. We also want to give a big thank you to all of our sponsors, the Patriots with the Trump hats next to their name. We do not have huge corporations sponsoring us like Fox. Fox has huge corporations sponsoring them. We do not. We don't have any of those big businesses or anything like that. Our sponsors are our members, the Patriots with the Trump hats next to their name in the chat. Those are our sponsors. Those are our members. So thank you so much for your help and your support. And also Patriots helping us out through Super Chat. Thank you. Because of you, we're able to live stream these events to Patriots all over the country and all over the world. So we hope that you guys join us for President Trump's news conference. We'll be back on the microphone to let you guys know when we have uploaded the Q&A part of the press briefing with Kayleigh McEnany. All right, folks. So the video has been uploaded onto the channel. Let's hope that you guys get notified. Let's see what happens, but let's hope that you guys get notified by YouTube. But if you did not get notified, I'll put the link to it in the chat. So let's just give us a few moments here and let's see. Let's hope that YouTube is sending out notifications for that video upload, as Patriots missed it and wasn't able to catch it live. But all of you guys that were able to catch it live, make sure you guys head over to the video, give it a thumbs up, and share it on social media. But if you did get notified, let me know in the chat. All right, folks. So I'm going to be putting the link to the video in the chat. Let me know if you guys got notified. But if you did not get notified, I'll put the link to it in the chat. Head over to the video, give it a thumbs up, and share it on social media. Like I said before, President Trump is having a news conference later on today, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. And we'd like to welcome and thank you to a new member. We have Mandy Gerard. Thanks so much, Mandy, for your help and your support. Becoming a new member, believing in Golden State Times, and supporting the free press. So Zelda Torna says, I get the email notifications thanks to Golden State Times. Well, thank you so much for your help. And let's see. Deacon, our great moderator, says, I got my YouTube notification at Gent. Thank you so much. All right. So here we go. Becca G says, I got a notification. Thanks so much for your feedback. Also, Deacon, thanks so much, Great Patriot, for your feedback. If you did not get notified by YouTube, I'm putting the link to the video in the chat. So head over to the video, give it a thumbs up, and share it on social media. It helps out the channel immensely. Oh, here we go. Gorf is here. I apologize if I did not see you, Gorf, earlier. I saw Deacon. Thanks so much, Deacon, for your help and your support. But we also have Gorf in the chat. Who else do we have in the chat? Do we have Carolyn Hall in the chat? Our great moderator, Carolyn Hall. And I saw Brian the other day. I don't know if Brian has been here. SoCal Lives says, I got notification. Awesome. Thanks so much for the feedback. You are amazing. If you missed the Q&A with Kayleigh McEnany, click on the link that I am putting in the chat, folks. Click the link that I am putting in the chat. That is the video upload of the Q&A part of the press secretary's Q&A, like I said, with reporters. So if you guys missed it, click on the link that I am actually spamming in the chat. I'm spamming my own chat to let you guys know in case you guys missed it. Even if you didn't miss it and you want to help out Golden State Times, click on the link that I am spamming in the chat and head over to the video, give it a thumbs up, and share it on social media. All right, folks, thank you so much. We will shut this live stream down and we'll get ready for President Trump's news conference coming later on today in just a few hours. Thank you so much for being the best part of Golden State Times, and we hope to see you guys here for that news conference coming at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, live here at Golden State Times. Thank you so much, and click on the link that I'm putting in the chat, and I will see you very soon.